An insane $75,000 Bitcoin price predicted by the end of next month by many institutions, as well as huge news from Ethereum and what's happening with Bitcoin mining over in China. In today's episode, we're going to look at some news for both Ethereum and Bitcoin and take a look at the charts to see whether this $75,000 price target for Bitcoin is possible in the coming months. Guys, welcome to the House of Crypto. I make videos on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in the markets. Without further ado, let's jump on over to the latest Bitcoin news. So the first piece of news over here on CNBC, a major Chinese Bitcoin mining hub is shutting down its cryptocurrency operation. So President Xi Jinping has and looking to go carbon neutral by 2060. As we know, Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining specifically creates a lot of pollution, and around 60 to 70% of all Bitcoin mined is mined actually in China. So China's Inner Mongolia region plans to ban new cryptocurrency mining projects and shuts down existing activity in a bid to cut down on energy-consuming operations. Bitcoin mining consumes an estimated 128.84 terawatts hour per year of energy, more than countries such as Ukraine and Argentina. And Inner Mongolia accounts for around 8% of all Bitcoin mining globally, whereas the USA only 7.2%, and that's the whole of the USA. So what does that mean for us as Bitcoin and potentially Ethereum holders? Obviously, like as we come into this area, we might see a bit of a drop in the supply available, which again is obviously going to support a higher price target. Obviously, mining provides the supply, and also when we've got lower supply but high demand, then that is something that we could see the price rocket. What we could also see is probably Bitcoin mining being set up in other countries. If the price goes higher, then obviously it becomes more sustainable in countries where the power might be slightly more expensive than it is in China. So it's all about, power versus profits. To pay attention to. So obviously, yeah, this is very interesting. What's very exciting potentially, as obviously Bitcoin is very famous for being so decentralized, as much of it is mined in China, by allowing it to be mined in a number of different countries, that adds to the kind of like the decentralization, if you will. So obviously there'll be less crypto being held within China and sort of spread out across a variety of countries where perhaps we've not seen that so much before. Jumping over to the next piece of Bitcoin news. Institutions are making bullish bets on Bitcoin rallying to $75,000 by May or even higher. Wow. So we're going to take a look at the chart in a moment to see what pattern I can see playing out that could, and I think likely, take us to that level. Institutional traders look to be positioning for a Bitcoin rally to $75,000 and beyond in coming months, according to the options market. On Monday, some block traders took bull call spreads to $75,000 and $100,000 strike call options expiring on May the 28th via over-the-counter trading and settlement desk paradigm. Swiss-based options analytics platform Levitas told CoinDesk these could be institutions betting that Bitcoin will hit at least $75,000 by the summer. Okay, so this is over on Yahoo Finance, if you want to go over there and check out the whole article there. So jumping into the Bitcoin chart, as we've had this falling wedge played out sort of last week, and over the last couple of days, we've now refound ourselves above 51,000 with a good solid nearly 6% up today. And in terms of the target from this breakout from this falling wedge, then we'll be looking to this to take us up towards the $62,000 mark, okay, which is sort of in line with this area here where we were sort of following on trend. So obviously a bit of a correction we've had here, which is very healthy in terms of sort of shaking out perhaps the weak hands, allowing some more institutional money to come in, sort of solidifying the market. And although it might hurt a bit when these shakeouts come, they are actually very healthy, and doesn't mean at all that we're going to see potential end of this bull cycle. As far as I'm concerned, this bull cycle is going to continue. Now, one thing I want to draw your attention to is this pattern which has played out here. So as we see here, this is sort of like a flag or like a pennant pattern. And if we take that back down from this low back here on the 27th of January, you can see this completes the pattern. And the way this works is we usually take this from here and we pop it on to our breakout point, which is around here. And if we were to zoom out a bit, and we can see that that pretty much takes us to around the $76,000 mark. Now, obviously, you know, that's not guaranteed exactly, but as we can see, I think the key moment for us in the last few days is for us to be able to break on the 4-hour this area here. Okay, as you can see, we've kind of wicked up above it, but we're kind of holding along this this line of resistance. Now, in terms of whether we're going to be able to break that at the moment, is kind of interesting to see. In this current 4-hour, what we really need to see is a 4-hour close above this level, and then we will be basically breaking this downtrend, and we will be potentially moving back onto this uptrend. Now, obviously, at the moment, as we speak, we're still technically in a downtrend until we can get a close above this sort of 51, pretty much the line, the area we're on now. We have basically broken through it now, but we need to close a 4-hour candle above that to see this sort of solidly play out. We might see a bit of a drop back further down. We've got a new kind of new area potentially coming up here to see whether this holds, and we might see a new trend unveil. But what at the moment, or what I wanted to check in this video, was more looking at the longer term possibilities for that $75,000. And if you think back to sort of the autumn time, there was a lot of call options that kind of gave us a bit of an indication about what the big money was thinking. To finish up, let's look over to Ethereum. Big Ethereum news today over on CoinDesk. Amazon managed blockchain at last supports Ethereum, ending a 2-year tease. There are over 8,000 nodes on the Ethereum network. Amazon's new management feature should increase that number. So this is really great to see, right? Obviously, we're seeing Ethereum starting to be utilized as a technology, and obviously Amazon being one of the world's most successful and wealthiest companies. Obviously, this is huge for Ethereum. With the launch of AWS, customers can easily provision Ethereum nodes in minutes and connect to the public Ethereum main network and test networks such as Rinkeby and Ropsten. AWS said a blog post on Tuesday. Okay, so that's super exciting news for Ethereum. Obviously, we see more and more of these companies starting to put their faith and their trust in cryptocurrency, which for the crypto community is nothing but exciting and great news, and a really exciting time to be a part of it. Okay, another thing to look at: second Ethereum ETF filed in Canada. So Canada last week had an ETF approved over in Toronto. This again is another gateway for institutional money to be able to start getting involved in the game as well, right? So huge, very bullish news for Ethereum there. And also, new Ethereum-based derivatives trading platform wins EU MiFID license. Close Trust claims this is the first such license to be granted to a blockchain-based derivatives trading platform. Okay, so again, this shows sort of the information that's coming out every day. We're seeing news, and this is not just, okay, this one is on crypto websites, but this is now sort of CNBC, BBC. We're starting to see huge news channels starting to cover crypto. The more it gets exposed, the more people start to get involved in the markets, the more your friends will be asking you to tell them about crypto. And then, you know, when that happens, then we start seeing the price rally and the FOMO kicks in. And guys, it's just basically, the way I see it at the moment, we're pretty much just at the start of something huge that's coming this year. And I think it's going to be really pretty crazy, especially once we break out of this current little dip in the cycle. I think there's a potential for seeing, at least, well, pretty certainly with Ethereum, could potentially be going parabolic should it break out of this. Now, just want to jump into where we are with Ethereum. This blue line I want to draw your attention to. So this is on the weekly, and we think back to here. This is the 1st of January back in 2018. And what we've seen that's really nice to see, excuse the white lines and things for now, is this: we've come back down, we've hit this, we've found resistance, and now we've started to build that as support, which is pretty much perfect to see. And really positive news for Ethereum. There might have been a bit of fear coming into the market, but actually that's what, in terms of the market cycle, we need a bit of fear in that to start. That's where we tend to mean we've hit the bottom. Okay, when the fear comes in, the fear comes with the bottom of the cycle, and then we start to build again up towards people feeling ecstatic and all very excited. But we should learn from this. A lot of people got their fingers burned, but we learned this time what to do next time. Okay, so in terms of where we see Ethereum going, I talked about this yesterday's video. We said that we needed to come up and break through the $1,600 level and be able to hold it again. Very similar, as you can see, to the Bitcoin price. We need to sort of break through and be able to close above it. As you can see, we've come out of this channel, broke out, and we now started to get into this new channel. It'd be interesting to see whether we see another little dip down towards this 1546 and whether we can then push and continue out to this upside, or we might see a drop to the downside. However, given where Bitcoin's going, given all this news, etc., I think that we're going to see a break to the upside, and we're going to be potentially heading back up in terms of our price target, which was $2,147, pretty much in line with this target. And in terms of when it's going to happen, in terms of seeing $1,500 again, we might take a dip down, but I think the way that both Bitcoin and Ethereum are heading, I think it's actually looking more likely that we're going to be starting to push back up to the upside. In terms of what we can also see on this chart on the 4-hour is perhaps an inverse head and shoulders here, and that would see, just from that pattern alone, would see a break all the way back up towards this level here, okay, which is pretty much towards testing all-time highs, and would obviously signal that we're out of this downtrend and moving back up into an uptrend. So yeah, literally what happens and plays out in the coming hours will be quite interesting to see what's happening. But this video is mainly about the crazy predictions for Bitcoin and what's going to happen. Guys, do you believe that Bitcoin is going to hit $75,000 by the end of April? Okay, so that's only 6-7 weeks away. Or do you believe that we're going to be in for a bit of a longer time of going sideways? Guys, if you're new to the House of Crypto, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in crypto markets. Thanks very much for your time, and I will see you tomorrow with another update. Bye-bye.